And hello, we are live. I know it's odd to have anime church on a Monday. It's awkward. Sunday should be the day of church, but Easter Sunday happened and most people were busy. So, yeah, I didn't want to do a show all by myself. So I just was like, we'll delay it till Monday and then do all of our things there. Yes. We have a lot to talk about, but before we do, introductions for anybody that may be showing up new, especially on a different day. I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I'm Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology.
And I am Fender Saru, your patron saint to snackos and alcohol.
And yeah, for those of you that aren't familiar with us, Anime Church is kind of a nerdy news show, and I didn't have a better name for it, so I threw a temporary name, Anime Church, because it was on a Sunday. The plan was to pick a better name later, and our chat wouldn't allow that. Honestly, that's what happened. They were like, "Oh, Anime Church, it's really good. Keep that." We're like, "No, but it's dumb. It's a news show. We're not actually a church. I was just making a joke because we did the show on Sunday, and it's stuck, and I can't get away with it. So that'll teach me to come up with temporary names that people can hold against me." Anyway, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. There was some interesting Disney stuff that dropped that is not of like a more recent variety. I mean, well, some of it. If you're still counting Star Wars as Disney, then yeah. But we had some anniversaries, some Disney-versaries, if you would, and we'll be talking a bit about that. We had a bunch of gaming updates. I even grabbed stuff that dropped yesterday just to make sure that we had the full week covered. And we've got a bunch of anime news, and then of course, we have to end everything on a sad note sometimes. So we have a little bit of sadness in the VTuber community that we have to go over. So, we don't always end on a negative note.
Oh, quite often we do, though.
No. I try to make sure that we do not end on a negative note. We have to talk about negative stuff and have negative moments throughout the show, but typically I try not to end us on those. You speak blasphemy, sir.
You're goddamn right I do.
Yeah, that's all that alcohols.
Oh no, I'm sober right now, unfortunately.
Technically speaking, if you're the patron saint of alcohol, snackos and alcohol, doesn't that just make you Dionysus?
No, because he's not the patron saint of parties.
No. Snackos could be part of parties. Also, it's not specifically just parties.
Not mutually exclusive.
What do you bring to parties?
Talking about
Snackos.
Dionysus here. Also,
Yeah.
Dionysus was more specifically the god of wine and grapes.
It was. Oh no, there's more to it than that. It's alcohol and eroticism. From if I'm remembering things correctly, and I did have to look this up recently.
No, totally not me.
Oh no, it doesn't. Oh no. That doesn't mean that you have to get yours on. It just means that other people do when you start showing up at the party. It's the curse of your gift. Others benefit while you do not. I know it well.
Many a day I feel like good luck, Chuck.
Good luck, Chuck. Good stuff, man. All right. So yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, but really quickly, I want to update people on a couple of things. If you are not a patron, please join. There's multiple reasons, of course, but let's talk about what's in it for you real quick. Updates on Solo Leveling Abridged. There's a thing coming out at 4:00 Central Time up on our Patreon that I made because I had an earworm. I couldn't get it out of my head. I've shown it to Moon, who is my assistant director and my co-writer for Solo Leveling Abridged, and I've shown it to a couple of the people, Fenris included, who is also in Solo Leveling, just to get some other opinions and thoughts and stuff. And I kind of I started trying to make an AMV, and then I just accidentaled into just making an opening for season 2 of the Abridged when we get there. So future planning, but also good luck, good timing on some other things, because I was able to make a change to the logo that had been irking me for a while, so I feel good about that. Yeah. Also, I'll be uploading the thumbnail within the next week or two. Yeah, I don't have any more updates for you guys other than that. Whoo! But that being said, yeah, the Pope passed away. Yes, I saw that. Pneumonia, but that's not nerdy news. Though I will say, I as an atheist will actually miss him, because he was the coolest Pope that the Catholic faith has ever had. I actually liked him, and I'm not someone that is a believer in religion. I just thought he was a pretty cool dude for a religious leader. I thought, like, wow, he actually embraced the positive sides of Christianity. I hope they don't go back on that. I hope they don't put someone in, right? I hope they don't put someone in the chair that is going to just go back on everything that this Pope just did. Please don't regress.
That's true. And, I'm fairly certain the Pope, bless his soul, embrace the meme, I have God and anime on my side.
That's beautiful. I love that. Good stuff. Alrighty. That being said, let's go ahead and get to the news, unless you guys have any other things you want to talk about right beforehand.
Nope, I don't.
All right, newsy time. Oh, man. We get to start off with nostalgia. All right, so for those of you that didn't know, also, if you don't feel old yet, you will shortly. We talked a little bit about this, but Goofy movie is turning 30 now, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in 95. Yeah. And to celebrate, Disney Plus is putting out a behind-the-scenes featurette about the making of the Goofy movie and, like, some of the animation and stuff behind it. We covered last week that there was a conversation between the voice actors of Goofy and Max riding around in a very live-action style version of the car from the movie. But now we're actually getting to see and learn the story of how the movie got made. And I just thought that was pretty cool, because when I watched the video, I was like, man, I'd kind of like to talk about that with the guys. So, yeah, that's where we're at on this. Guys, have you had a chance to look at the video for this?
I listened to it in the background while I was at work.
That counts.
That's what I do most of the time with most of these videos.
That is fair. That is fair.
Yeah, I looked at it.
It was pretty. I especially like the part of Jeffrey Katzenberg, who was I think the CEO of Disney before Iger took over, but he was the one that led them through the Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast days. Basically brought Disney animation back in the 90s, and like he didn't pitch or push for like his story. He mentioned that he was about to go on a trip with his daughter, who was a teenager, and the two of them like didn't really connect anymore. Like they just it wasn't really looking forward to the he wanted the trip to go well, of course, but he also was a bit worried, considering that they were in a much more strained relationship than they used to be. And yeah, that's kind of the gist of the beginning of where this started. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. He just contributed an idea and they ran with it. I think that's dope. So,
and it turned into like one of the most memorable movies of most of our childhoods.
It really did. It really, really did. man, okay, so I lost my father like 3 years before this movie came out, and then I see the movie, and all I can think the entire time is that Goofy reminds me so much of my dad. So like I insta connected with that. I will. I said this last week, but I'll say it again. I am not ashamed to admit that I have cried in front of Bill Farmer when I met him and got to talk to him. About Goofy. We started off with like some of the lighter stuff, just the voice and things that he could the fun stuff that he could do behind the mic and things like that. Oh, damn it. You know what? I realized I missed a golden opportunity to ask him if he's ever ordered drive-through food in the Goofy voice.
I'm sure he has. He has a great sense of humor.
It's a 50-50 shot when you ask a voice actor if they've ever used any other voices at a drive-through. Some will be like, no. Others will be like, oh my God, all the time. I'm one of the people that will. It's not all the time, but I will occasionally use voices to throw them off. Yeah. And then typically I can never return to that drive-through. So I usually do it out of state when I do it. So if I do it pardon me, if I do it near my home, places that I frequent regularly, they'll ask me to do it each time. They're like, hey, I know you, do the voice. It's like, ah, crap. Hey, hi Joshua. But yeah, that was that golden opportunity I missed to ask Goofy if he's ever used the Goofy voice at a drive-through. I feel ashamed of myself now. So disappointed in me. How dare I? Anything else? Anything else on this video, the little behind the scenes thing? Anybody interested in watching it? Let us know. You guys interested in seeing it? I know my curiosity was piqued at the very least. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. It's kind of where I was.
I'm definitely gonna watch it just because I like learning about the background and how stuff is made, especially with, cartoons from my childhood. Speaking of which, I need to go back and finish researching Scooby-Doo.
Ah, yes, indeed.
Like the original '60s cartoon, not.
Oh no, you're good. You're
modern
good.
day.
The Casey Kasem era. Yes.
The good era. Not the best era, because the best era was the early 2000s when it got really dark and real.
I don't know, man. I think the best era is the Harlem Globetrotters. That's what I'm saying. Also, you can't call the 2000s the best era if it's missing Don Knotts.
I see where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easily the second best era in my book. 'Cause, all the Scooby-Doo cameo movies and shows and episodes were phenomenal. I grew up with them. I watched them with my grandpa, my grandma. And I have so many good memories.
Gotcha.
But I also remember, after playing, Resident Evil for the first time in '96, and I got into kind of like a zombie kick.
Oh, are you talking about the Scooby-Doo zombie stuff? Not Zombie Island,
Yeah.
but like the zombie comic run where it was like
Yes.
dark and gritty and serious. Oh my God.
Yes, and my grandpa of all people, Army vet, fucking adored the fact I got into it, and he would buy me the comics. And when Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island came out, he went out, bought it day one, and he and I sat down and watched it like 4 times in a row.
What was it? Didn't Shaggy and Velma end up having like a kid in that
I think
run?
so.
Yeah. My favorite of the movies was probably Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. I think that was my favorite.
No, that's another great one.
That's a classic. Dude, they had a lot of really good ones. I still think the one that stands out to me from like the old school Scooby-Doo, the OG kind of ones, there was the Headless Horseman episode and there was the No Face Ghost. Those two are the ones that I probably watched the most. I don't know why it is, but I've always had such a fixation with the Headless Horseman and Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, I don't know why. I just did. Anyhow. Moon, you got anything you want to say about this particular behind the scenes look or anything you want to chat about in terms of the Goofy movie?
Not at this moment.
Okay. All right, on to our next one. The final trailer for Marvel's The Thunderbolts dropped last week. And honestly, this was the one that was like, okay, I actually am kind of sort of caring about these people because we're getting character story stuff. And I'm like, I've always liked Yelena, or Florence Pugh's character of Yelena. She's just been fun. Anybody who's seen the Hawkeye show and saw Yelena in that, it was like, yeah, Yelena was decent in Black Widow, and I love the fact that she was kind of poking fun at Black Widow and calling her a poser and all these other things. But like, once you actually saw her, it's just like, yeah, she's a real person, but she's an assassin, but she's also like a real person. She's like talking to people about Kraft mac and cheese and putting hot sauce in mac and cheese. And I'm like, yeah, no, I absolutely get that. But like her dynamic with Kate Bishop, so funny. And so I kind of really liked her character from there. And this is very focused on her. And Red Guardian was like the best part of the Black Widow movie because he was so funny. I love David Harbour ever since seeing him in Newsroom. But then, everything was solidified even more because he was the sheriff in Stranger Things, Sheriff Harper. I've just really liked him as an actor, and he was unbelievably funny in the Black Widow movie. So, yeah, there's a lot of characters in here that have some interesting stories that I would kind of like to explore. And it seems they're all going to live through it because they're showing up in the Avengers Doomsday. So we shall see how this goes. I know this is not particularly your brand of cinema, but what you got any thoughts on this particular trailer, Fenris?
Oh, if it's the trailer I'm thinking of. The very end when Bucky's like, no, we're not calling ourselves that.
Yeah, no, this does feel like one of those. These are all the anti-heroes because the whole push of this story is that the Avengers are gone. Now what? And so this is just a band of misfits, and they're not the good guys. They're not necessarily the bad guys, but they definitely all have bad pasts. I wouldn't necessarily say they're not all criminals, is how I'll put it. But yeah. Anyhow,
Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
Exactly. Also, I'm loving this top corner. Anytime I see a vehicle that's wrecked, Henya's like, that's not me. She's a bad driver in video games and apparently also in real life. Good stuff. Moon, anything to say on this particular trailer?
It seems interesting.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then we have the Fantastic Four trailer. This one looked good, and it also surprised me that we got I forget the actor's name, but he played the brother in the Sherlock TV series with Benedict Cumberbatch. But yeah, I was surprised that he was in it. I'm still loving like the retro futurist look of this film, like kind of the retro futurist era of the 1960s, and I don't have a lot to say. It showed like a new scene showing that yes, Sue Storm is pregnant. They're doing the family dinner stuff, and then we get a little bit more of. Oh, God. Okay, so here's the thing I do want to point out. Yes, the Silver Surfer is female in this version. All the people that are bitching about it seem to have missed the fact that this is taking place in an alternate universe. So, of course, not everything's going to be the same. If the Silver Surfer is of a different gender in this universe, that's okay. Also, There's been instances in the comics where the Silver Surfer has been female. Get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Not everything is about woke. Anyway, it still looks good, and it looks more kind of hopeful and family and like focused on the actual family of the Fantastic Four. Hi. Hi, Rick. Happy Monday, my dudes. Happy Monday indeed.
Yes, Monday.
Yay, Monday.
Yay.
We get to read light novels tonight. That's something to look forward to, I guess. But yeah, it looks good, and we got more shots at Galactus. I was already ready to go see this movie because I like a good chunk of the cast, and the trailers have not given me a reason to like. None of the vibes from the trailers have given me a reason to not care. So the more I see, the more I just kind of am like justified and like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this. The only other thing that is new here is we finally got to see Reed Richards stretching, and it does not look ass. So I'm happy with that. That more or less confirms my hopes there that they didn't make the I know he's not the Elastic Man, but Mr. Fantastic. They didn't make his stretching ability look like total ass, and I appreciate that. That being said, what are your guys' thoughts on this trailer? Okay. Well, I figured your thing was gonna be kind of meh to begin with because this is not your genre, and I totally understand that.
I think it looks pretty cool.
Mhm.
Always excited to see more of Dad of the Year.
That is also true. Also, anytime I see Christopher Judge in something, I'm gonna go see it because Dad of Boy. Just yeah, have to support Dad of Boy. You know, what's brown and sticky? A stick, boy. I freaking love that. It's so funny. All right. Any other comments, last minute thoughts, or did I talk too long and cover everything? Again. Okay, good to know. Okay. All right, moving on to the next thing. Okay. Am I the only one here who's seen Sandman? Like the first season of Sandman? Yeah, it's crap. It is. I am the only one. Okay. The main character, this guy on that was that you see primarily throughout the trailer. His name is Morpheus, aka Dream. He is one of the Endless. So they are eternal, and a lot of stuff happened in season 1. It's really good. Highly recommend you check it out. If you have Netflix, please do. They announced a season 2, and season 2 is gonna have a release date, and it's coming out in. Hey, you caught a stream. Welcome, Dale. But yeah, season 2 is coming out in 2 parts in, I believe, July. This looks really good. I don't remember who all I've talked to Dream about, or who all I've talked to this about. But you have Dream, Desire, Death, Despair, and they're introducing the youngest, which I'm not sure I know who they are. I haven't read the source material. I am a show only, as it were. But yeah. Also, like Dream and Death, they're really fun. Like they have really great dialogue. We also see the Devil is back, which is cool. I love that they cast. All right, you guys remember the tall knight chick from Game of Thrones?
Yep.
Never seen Game of Thrones.
Okay. But did you see any of the sequel trilogy?
Star Wars?
Yes. Captain
Yeah.
Phasma, the chick in the like chrome stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, she's the devil.
Mm.
Yeah, she's it's really good. They have a literal war of words in season 1. It's so interesting. But yeah, it's so good. You've been watching since episode 2 of Log Horizon Abridged. Didn't know your channel streamed. Yeah, we stream on. Okay, so here's the thing: we stream this show usually every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central. It's just yesterday was Easter, so most of us were busy. So we're doing it today. And later on tonight, we are streaming over on our Twitch channel. We read light novels. We're currently reading Mushoku Tensei. Aren't we starting? We're continuing through volume 8, correct? If I'm remembering right.
I think.
Yeah.
Also, whose turn is it to read?
I think it's yours.
Okay.
Okay. Because wasn't Shem last week?
I don't remember.
I think it was Sonic last. Let me.
No, it was not Sonic last week.
let me
I don't
double
think
check.
it was Sonic last week.
Last week would have been the.
I think it was Shem. Anyway,
sucks. The
We're
14th.
currently working on the Mushoku Tensei series.
yeah, we're working on Mushoku Tensei. Sorry, volume 8 of Mushoku Tensei, which puts us toward like midway through the first half of season 2. So part 1 of season 2 of the anime, we're like in that territory. But yeah, I think she was the Archangel Michael. No, if I remember correctly, she was the devil, because it was hell, and she was the king of hell.
Okay. Yeah.
Is
it was
Michael?
Shem we read last week.
It was Shem. Okay, cool. Oh no! In Constantine. Oh no, you're talking about Constantine. No. Tilda Swinton was the one in Constantine, or the freaking what's her name, the monk lady that the one in charge of all the other sorcerers at Camertage that taught Doctor Strange, the ancient one. That's her. Yeah, she was most unclean little horn. I miss the old names. Also, dude that played the devil in Constantine, just he's so good. So freaking good. Anyway, but yeah, Sandman season 2 coming out. I'm interested. I'm very interested. I guess I'm the lone voice here because
I've seen the clips that you showed me the
Yeah.
other day, and I may watch it one of these days.
it is interesting. It's very good. It does. The episode I showed you, I think, is right after the Death episode, the episode where he talks to Death, or it could be the same episode. I don't remember, but it's like I think it's about midway through. I think this show is only about like 8 to 12 episodes. It's not very long, but it's still good. Yeah,
Okay.
if you like dark and supernatural shit, this is for you. That's all. All right. Lastly, we had Superman Day, which I didn't even know was a thing. And they showed us some behind the scenes of the new Superman and talked with the cast and crew. I especially like that James Gunn was referencing the old school Chris Reeves Superman in a lot of his talk about like when he thinks of the character Superman, he thinks of like that Chris Reeves era Superman in many ways. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I mean, he also reads the comics because he's a comic nerd. But like, that's when he started becoming aware of movies, he said. I thought that was pretty neat. Other than that, I like seeing the sets. I like finding out that the robots are actually practical. That was cool. Seeing the freaking the Daily Planet set and some of the others. It was neat. That's kind of what I took away from this. I was like, oh, that's neat. And yeah, that's kind of sort of it here. I don't have like a lot to say. Oh, we got our first shot of Jimmy Olsen and the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet. But other than that, everything else was just kind of like, yeah, we've seen some of this before and it looked neat. And I'm still excited because this looks like a hopeful Superman. So this didn't do a lot to push things up, but like we have to talk about the nerdy news, and this is part of it. So
So what you're
I'm
saying, this is hope, man.
this is hope, man. I'm hoping to go see this. Ha. I don't remember when it's coming out. Maybe I should scroll down and then I'll see. Oh, July 11th. Okay, so after Icon. That would be the meanest thing. It'd be like, let's go see a movie together. We all go see a movie. Fenris is like, God damn it, it's a superhero thing, isn't it?
I expect that.
Oh, you do?
Honestly.
You do?
I expected that last
Yeah.
year, and I was ready to say no.
Also so true. If Superman flops, DC is in big trouble, which is so sad. But it's got a lot of things going for it, and fans seem very, very hopeful. So, I mean, honestly, we were all expecting Minecraft to flop, and it didn't. So,
Yeah,
who
and
knows?
now, they had every theater who shows it has to worry about extending the time between showings so they can clean.
Yeah, no, that's guys, think of the people that freaking work in the theaters. Don't be that idiot. Also, if somebody starts throwing popcorn all over the place in the middle of the theater because somebody said chicken jockey on the screen, you have my permission to walk up and slap the shit out of them. You do to them what their mama clearly didn't do when they were growing up. You slap the crap out of them. God, some people just want to be annoying on every sense of the word, and just they think they have a right to just be a jerk. And no, you don't necessarily have the right to be a jerk. You have the option to be a jerk, but you also have the right to deal with the consequences of your actions. Freaking.
Dell, I'm sorry to say you already missed us talking about the Thunderbolts trailer.
Yeah, we did talk about the Thunderbolts trailer. I'm sorry, Dell.
My favorite saying that I learned in the army: "Hello, consequences of my action, you ugly bitch."
All right, so we move on from there to talking a little bit about the Star Wars Celebration stuff that happened. If you did not know, Star Wars Celebration happened in Tokyo this year. And this is the 30th anniversary of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which will be coming out in theaters shortly. They will be doing a re-release, I think in June? May or June? I don't remember when. But it will be coming out. Yeah, one of those months. Couldn't be on May the 4th. No, they had to make it the same day they released it 30 years ago. I'm like, nah, dude, put it out on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Anyhow, yeah, the re-release of Revenge of the Sith will be coming out. I want to see it in theaters again. I loved watching it in theaters. It was such a fun time. Also, watching it again with the context of knowing how the Clone Wars series ended and what is going on simultaneously in that second half of the movie with characters like Ahsoka. Oh, so good. So good. And, okay, so a couple things that there's at least two things that I didn't talk about or didn't grab because I didn't see enough info on them and then later found them. But I was like, we're already talking about too much stuff. So I'm just going to quickly go over it. One, there is a Darth Maul show coming out. I am so happy for this because Sam Witwer is all over it. He's even writing several of the episodes. And if you know anything about Sam, he is the biggest Star Wars nerd you'll ever meet in your life. And he loves the property that he's in. Of course, he is the voice of Maul. But like he's had all these ideas that he's pitched in regards to Maul during the shows that he's worked on. And they're like, yeah, that's good, but it's not Maul's show. And now finally it's Maul's show. And apparently in this show, we're finally getting Darth Talon, who was supposed to be Maul's apprentice in originally. So this is a George Lucas thing that was pitched that was supposed to be part of the sequel trilogy that Disney ultimately just said no and ignored because it was going to initially bring Maul into the forefront, or at least his apprentice, who is this hot Sith Twi'lek. And I'm like, Yeah, give us a sexy Sith. Why not? Give us more of that. Anyway,
Just make us want to join the dark side even more.
they have cookies. But yeah, more Darth Maul. I'm all for it. I've heard some people like going, Darth Maul. I don't like his character. I'm like, well, that's too fucking bad. You know what? I can't account for people who don't have taste. I just can't. And then the second piece of news is that we have officially confirmed a Star Wars Starfighter show or a movie. And apparently Lucasfilm is going back to the only doing one movie a year thing. So Starfighter, it looks like, is coming out next year. And then Mando and Grogu movie is coming out, I think, 2027, if I'm remembering that right. It's either... I may have those swapped around. I don't know. But Starfighter, which is going to be directed by Sean Levy, who, if that name sounds familiar to you, congratulations. You either saw Free Guy or Deadpool and Wolverine.
I need to watch Free Guy. That one looked like so much
Free Guy's so fun. Oh my god. It's not the best movie, but god damn it, it's funny. You know?
Yeah,
It's-
Free Guy was amazing, honestly.
It's not the best written movie, but it is one of the best improv movies. It's
I
like
just like the thought of, an NPC becoming self-aware while you're playing a game.
while playing GTA essentially.
I can only watch trailers and think, man, if only this would happen during one of my games, it would be so much more interesting.
Also, 100%, 100% on board with with the funny choices they decided to go with for Taika's character. That was so funny. But yeah, he did those two movies. He's helming that, and Ryan Gosling is going to be their lead actor for Starfighter. So, I'm here for it. I mean, that's exciting news. If they can actually get the production off the ground and actually make the damn thing. I'm tired of being told we're working on this, and then you find out like 6 months later, oh, that project's been canceled. Well, they've confirmed 4 of the projects that everybody thought were canceled are not in fact canceled, and that they're still being worked on. They just cut down on the amount of stuff so that they can focus on making good quality content. And I'm like, yes! Stop trying to throw everything. Apparently, they're starting to learn from the backlash that hit them after that piece of garbage they put out of a television show, or they tried to call a television show, called The Acolyte. It's trash. And it's not because of who was in it or what ethnicity or gender, none of that matters. If you can't write a compelling and interesting story with compelling and interesting characters, what are you doing writing for film and television in the first place? Go back to fanfiction.net, because that's clearly the only time you were successful. As you can see, I'm very particular about my Star Wars stuff because I grew up with the Star Wars novels, which were really, really good. Even the Yu Zhang Vong stuff that most people didn't care for, I will take it over a lot of what Disney has put out, to be fair. That being said, those were the main things that we didn't have stories for. But we did get some interesting gaming news. Did you guys see this trailer for Star Wars Zero Company? This is like a Star Wars RTS, right? Real-time strategy?
It's like XCOM meets Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping, when I was first watching the trailer, I was hoping to be more of like a Knights of the Old Republic gameplay. I absolutely adored those games.
Well, they are remaking the Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes,
they're
been in
updating
the
it or
process of
whatever.
being made for like 4 years, and it makes me more and more concerned as time goes on.
To be fair, I think that's mostly because I think BioWare is falling apart. But
I don't
I
even think
like
it's
this.
BioWare that's doing the remake.
Is it not?
Let me double check.
Is it somebody that's still under EA is the point.
I'll look into that while you keep going
Also, Nintendo, y'all need to slow down because you're starting to make EA and freaking Ubisoft look like Make-A-Wish right now.
No, it's not anybody under
Ooh.
EA. It's
Ooh.
Asper, who is directly under
Uh-huh.
Lucasfilms and SIE.
Okay, well, let's give them time because, hey, if they're taking their time because they don't want to mess it up, I'm all for that. I'd rather have a late game than a buggy, broken, messed up game. You know
You know what other game I said the same thing about before it released?
what?
Duke Nukem Forever.
Okay, you know what? You know what I said I wanted immediately and then instantly regretted it once it was released. Cyberpunk. So I'm gonna
To be
sit
fair,
here.
Cyberpunk was also in development for like 10 or 11 years.
Yeah, no, I'm
It
not
was
gonna
announced
give
in
the
the
fair.
early days of the Xbox 360.
I'm not gonna give it any to be fairness. They released that way too soon. It was not finished. No, it needed at least another 6 months of work put into it, so it wasn't a buggy mess on launch.
My thing is, with my experience in the gaming industry,
Uh-huh.
any game or remake that takes longer than 7 years, it's gonna be crap. Just for the pure and simple fact that they develop it, half the team leaves during the time frame, new people come on, and they change what was already there.
As somebody who is in on the creative side of things, I just want to say it's not that it sometimes it does take that long to do. Oh my god, what the hell? Upcoming Star Wars game. Oh, that's right. They have Star Wars Eclipse. There's Knights of the Old Republic, and then there's the Star Wars Jedi 3, the third in the trilogy for the Jedi Outcast, Jedi Survivor, and whatever the third one's going to eventually be. I forgot about Eclipse. Damn. All right. But yeah, that is. It looks good. I love. This is the Clone Wars. Yeah, this is the Clone Wars era, which I still think there's a lot of really good stories to be told, even though there was a whole television about the Clone Wars, television series about the Clone Wars. But that focused primarily on the Jedi or specific Jedi in that case. But
there's so many Jedi that they did not touch on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know the Jedi's name in this one, but it's not one that I've seen before.
Well, it's not Plo Koon. It is a species I've seen before.
Yeah, it's a species I've seen, but I've not seen this particular Jedi.
I see that we've got a strategist, and we've also got a Mando, couple of clone troopers. I don't even know what this dude is. A robot and a Jedi. I'm just like, well, there's a motley crew there. This feels like Spec Ops kind of stuff, and I'm here for it. Oh, my guy. Church of Napalm, Star Wars Division.
If it was multiplayer, yes.
If it is, I don't know.
Like I said, if it is, yes.
If it is, yeah. All right. That being said, yeah, this looks interesting. I'm curious to see more about it and learn more as more info comes out. But yeah, this looks interesting. I'm not 100% sure, dude. To be fair, Rick, I have no earthly idea. This does slightly give me vibes, by the way. This trailer gives. I'm not saying it is similar to, but like it gives me vibes of the trailers for the Old Republic. You remember the not KOTOR, SWOTOR, but you remember like the stuff where they had the ship captain, and then he was like, "I'm just inspecting the troops, Corporal." That whole bit, it kind of gives me a little bit of that like kind of swashbuckling style to it a little bit, you know? Like I know that we're supposed to be at a well, I'm talking specifically about the trailers. The vibes that the trailers. Yeah, the vibe that some of the trailers gave me, it's like, yeah, we're doing those mystical fights, the armies, but we also got that swashbuckling, like, scoundrel side. And I'm like, I'm getting a little bit of those vibes from this. and that's a good direction to
Right.
go in, as far as I'm concerned. Moon, you got any thoughts on this?
It seems very interesting. I've played a little bit of, I think it's the XCOM series,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed that, so
Okay.
I'd be interested in this as well.
I'm not familiar with XCOM, so I can't make a comparison, but I did like what I saw, and that's generally where I'm at. So
Uh,
if you guys have played something that looks similar in this style, I'm all ears. Go for it.
XCOM is basically a tactical game.
Okay.
Not an RTS because most RTSs involve base building and all that. Uh,
Gotcha.
Whereas XCOM, you get like a squad of 4, maybe 5 soldiers to clear a mission. And if
Yeah.
that soldier dies, well, they're dead. There's
Gotcha.
no resurrecting them. You have to recruit more people.
And yes, I'm aware the SWTOR trailers were straight fire. They were amazing, dude. That's because that was back in the day when LucasArts and Lucasfilm was in charge of all the gaming stuff. So like the people who were there were truly passionate about Star Wars.
Yep.
It wasn't relegated to like third parties. Back in the day when Lucas made their own gaming. Disney missed out, man. They could have had a whole gaming department for themselves. Anyway, on to the next story.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else he wants to add
Oh,
about XCOM?
okay. All right. So, on to our next Star Wars story. Dark Horse is to publish the original art of the very first Star Wars manga. This is A New Hope, I believe. But Dark Horse
Yes.
announced at Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025 on Friday that it will publish the art of Star Wars: A New Hope, the manga, a hardcover release of the art boards from Hisao Tamaki's Star Wars: A New Hope, the first Star Wars manga published. The deluxe 2-volume release will feature a new English translation. The new publication will feature Tamaki's original art boards on the right to left orientation unaltered, including the blue pencil marks, pasted captions, and editorial notes. Normally not included to appear in print, the release will be available at general retailers, but Dark Horse will offer it first to a Kickstarter campaign in a 2-volume collector's edition and a 3-volume masterpiece edition with exclusive covers, variant formats, and signed versions. This will be a Dark Horse first in-house Kickstarter campaign. And then it's just backstory on that. I love that Rick's like, I won't be upset if you keep talking about Star Wars. Star Wars has some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, unless you guys have something you want to say about the manga, the Star Wars manga that's being put out.
Hey.
Okay.
No.
Time for more gaming news. Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders open on April 24th following delay from tariffs impact. So we finally have an update on that. Moon, would you like to take this story?
Yeah, I can.
Alrighty.
Nintendo announced on Friday that it will open pre-orders for its new Nintendo Switch 2 system on April 24th following a delay. The console's release date of June 5th remains unchanged. The prices for the Switch 2, US $450, Switch 2 bundle with the Mario Kart World, $500, as well as the Mario Kart World $80 and Donkey Kong Bonanza games $70, remain unchanged from the original announcements. However, Switch 2 accessories will change pricing due to changes in market conditions. The company stated that it may adjust prices of any Nintendo product in the future, depending on market conditions. Nintendo is listing the current prices of the peripherals on its website. The company announced on April 4th that pre-orders for the system would be delayed in the United States from the initial April 9th date to assess the potential impact of tariffs and evolving market conditions. Nintendo had announced the global April 9th pre-order date, the US $550 price, and other details for its Switch 2 launch on April 2nd at 9 a.m. Eastern. President Donald Trump formally announced new tariff taxes on imports 7 hours later after U.S. stock markets closed. Stocks in the United States, Japan, and elsewhere have dropped across the board since. Nintendo had already been shifting part of the original Switch's production from China to Vietnam since 2019 during Trump's first term. The Financial Times reported the factories in Vietnam and Cambodia now make more than half of Nintendo's hardware destined for the United States, and the company has stockpiled hundreds of thousands of Switch 2 systems in the United States early, partly in anticipation of the tariffs. The company also delayed pre orders of Switch 2 in Canada to align with its postponement of US pre orders. Do I need to go into the background of the tariffs?
No, I don't think you need to.
Everybody
Unfortunately,
knows how bad of a decision that is.
yeah. Quick update on that for today. Uh, Japan, it seems, is not willing to enter into any deals at the moment, and that's not helping with things. But the reason they're not willing to enter into any deals with the U.S. is because they're uncertain as to how the U.S. will proceed in the future, which I can understand. There's a large amount of uncertainty going on around the world right now. So we can't do anything different about that. And I don't want to go into politics at all on this channel. So that's kind of where we'll just keep it. All right. Fenris, you get this one. Sony is now raising the price of the PS5.
Again.
Yeah.
Sony Interactive Entertainment announced on its PlayStation blog on Sunday that it has raised the price of some PlayStation 5 consoles in select markets in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. SIE cited a backdrop of a challenging economic environment, including high inflation and fluctuating exchange rates, as the reason behind the price hike. In Europe, the price of the PS5 Digital Edition has risen to $499.99. The price of the standard PS5 with the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive has not changed. In the United Kingdom, the price of the PS5 Digital has risen to $429.99. The price of the standard PS5 has not changed. I hate how they have to get a fucking word count. It's stupid. In Australia, the price of the standard PS5 has risen to $829.95, and the digital has risen to $749.95. In New Zealand, the price of the standard PS5 is now $949.95, and the digital is $859.95. The price of the PS5 Pro in these regions has not changed. Sony has conversely dropped the disc drive price for PS5 in these regions to the following. Europe is $79.99, UK is $69.99, Australia is $124.95, New Zealand is $139.95. Sony added that PS5 prices in select markets in EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, not mentioned above, may have also received price increases. SIE increased the suggested retail price of the PS5 and its related peripherals in Japan on September 2nd. The company cited severe external conditions, including recent changes in the global economic situation, as the reason for the price changes. Holy fuck, that is stupid.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's some dumb shit. But you want to hear something that's not necessarily some dumb shit?
Sure.
We're getting a new Doom game.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this came out from Bethesda, and I didn't even realize that Bethesda was the ones responsible for Doom. All right,
Yeah,
so to be fair,
I'm pretty sure they bought id.
Okay, to be fair, I'm not familiar with the Doom franchise. I know of Doom Guy, and I played a little bit of one of the most recent games. I know just enough to know that the soundtrack is badass to kill monsters too, and monsters and demons.
Yes, they do a fantastic job with the soundtrack.
From my understanding, humanity is trying to control Doom Guy. They put him on a leash of some sort. Well, they call it a leash.
That's not humanity.
Okay, well, whoever it is.
So, bit of a background on the first two Doom games leading up to Doom 2016. Doom Guy, otherwise formerly known as the Doom Marine, was originally a human from Earth who served in the Marines and was dishonorably discharged for assaulting his commanding officer after refusing to fire on a crowd of unarmed civilians.
Okay.
Um, memory serves after that, he was transferred to the UAC Phobos base on Mars as security, where he found himself, fighting demons from hell who are trying to take over the base, and then subsequently, I can't even fucking say that word properly, go to Earth and take that place over. As well, let's face it, it'd probably be better than what we're experiencing now. Trade one
Okay.
hell for another.
Gotcha.
He fights through Phobos, fights through hell to arrive on Earth at the end of Doom 1. Beginning of Doom 2, Earth has already been taken over by the demons, and his family, all of his friends, and the most important driving factor behind it, his entire demon-slaying rampage and everything. No. They killed his rabbit, Daisy.
Okay. That he's basically Marine John Wick fighting demons.
The original John Wick.
I don't know about that because
remember,
Doom Guy isn't an assassin. He's an upfront kill you in the face kind of thing. By the way, this comes out May 15th.
yes. It is a very, very bloody, gory, fast-paced game. It's
I'm
so
aware.
much- so
I'm aware. I played some
also-
of one of them. I have it on the Xbox Game Pass.
Also, it was one of the first game companies to try to make an interconnected universe with their games.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfenstein, another id game,
Oh,
the main character, BJ Blazkowicz, is the ancestor of Doom Guy.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah. I played Wolfenstein, like the old school where you had to play it on PC.
Yes.
Not any of this new school Wolfenstein stuff.
Some of the new stuff, it's pretty fun.
I'm not saying that it's bad or anything. I'm just saying that's the generation I played it in.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about the new school stuff to.
But the Dark Ages trailer looks like it takes place between the end of Doom 2 and the beginning of Doom 2016.
Okay.
You can completely forget about Doom 3 in this, because that's not the same Doom Guy.
Okay. I don't think I played Doom 3. I played something kind of similar to what this looks like.
That would either be Doom or Doom, the second of the remake of Doom games. I can't think of what it's called.
Okay, I don't think it's Doom Apocalypse, and I don't feel like going and opening
It's not.
up.
It won't be Doom Apocalypse.
Yeah, I didn't think it was the actual name Apocalypse, but it's Doom something. That's all I remember. People were telling me to play it.
Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal, that's what it was. Yeah, I was playing that.
Which is also a very... It's a lot slower paced. I'm not gonna pick up Doom the Dark Ages on PC.
My guy, that's a big dragon puppy you get to ride, and that's the important thing I took away from this.
And it's a mech.
I know. Yeah.
So
anyhow,
but I'm personally not going to pick it up on PC, not for the performance shit, because of the anti-cheat software they used in Eternal that they're bringing over to Dark Ages, which is a known malware.
Ooh, yeah, no. Okay, already out of contention. I was thinking about playing this, and now no.
But it could be changing because it is coming out on Battle.net.
Oh, okay. That's much better.
So if it comes out on Battle.net, I will probably buy it there, because despite all Blizzard's issues, at least their fucking online servers and their anti-cheat they have built into it is very reliable.
Gotcha.
And it will not crash your PC.
And now we're finally here at the anime block. Yay! All right, I'll read this next one. Netflix adds My Hero Academia, your next film, on April 20th, which was yesterday. Netflix began streaming the My Hero Academia Your Next Film on Sunday. The film opened in Japan last August. The film sold 708,500 tickets and earned. Okay, so this is a lot of backstory. Basically, guys, the newest movie for My Hero Academia is now up on Netflix as of yesterday. That was a quick story.
Nice. Very quick story.
It was a very quick
You want to
story.
take the next one?
Nope. Hey, Moon, you there? He's muted, so probably not. Darn it. I was really hoping to give this one to Moon because he's been watching Haikyuu. By the way, guys, if you're talking about other streams that you want to catch us on, Moon streams on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time, doing his anime watch-alongs and reactions, and he's finishing up season 4 of Haikyuu. He'll be doing the second half of Haikyuu this week, and then next week it'll just be the Battle of the Garbage Dump movie. And then he'll be done with Haikyuu for now because he'll be all caught up. And he'll be starting in 3 weeks. He'll be starting Jellyfish Can't Swim at Night. And we'll be putting our poll up in 2 weeks. So keep an eye on the posts that we put up on our community tab so you can vote on what you want him to watch next. I know a couple of things that I'd like him to watch. Oh, that reminds me. I need to add Reincarnated as a Sword to the list. I absolutely do. Yeah.
You're thinking that, and my first thought is I need to sit him down and watch all the Resident Evil CGI movies.
Oh no, that'll take forever.
It's only
like Haikyuu
4,
didn't.
5.
There's more.
The CGI movies. That's
I know, but I still think you're skipping like 1 or 2. Anyway,
Degeneration, Damnation, Vendetta, Death Island. The Infinite Darkness is a series on Netflix, so that doesn't count.
no.
Though all 4 episodes basically are a movie by itself.
Gotcha. All right, let's. I was hoping we'd get Moon here, but other things are going on. That being said, let's get back to this. Haikyuu quenches thirst in a Coca-Cola Japan's Aquarius ad. Sports drink commercial features Haikyuu character Hinata Shoyo. The Coca-Cola Japan debuted a set of 4 new commercials for its popular sports drink brand, Aquarius, which I didn't even know they had, with 2 featuring Haikyuu main character Hinata Shoyo on Wednesday. The commercials are now streaming on Coca-Cola Japan's YouTube channel. The first commercial features Hinata Shoyo during volleyball practice and drinking Aquarius during one of his breaks. The second commercial is a compilation commercial featuring the Haikyuu character, Memphis Grizzlies and Memphis Hustle point guard Yuki Kawamura, and skateboarder Koko Yoshizawa. I did not even know that there was a Japanese guy in the Memphis Grizzlies team because I don't pay attention to effing basketball. According to Coca-Cola Japan's press release, the commercials ties into the announcement of a new formulation for Aquarius. The formulated Aquarius is set to go on sale today, actually. So there we go. I'm going to take a look at this because I have not seen it. Yep. That seems about right. Also, if nothing else, I'm happy for the voice actor who got paid for that. Because you get to do an ad spot, they paid their voice actor.
That's true.
Okay, they just showed Hinata drinking in that part. And then... So just clips of the same commercial. Okay, so yeah, it's just a compilation version. All right, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's interesting that they animated some more Haikyuu just for a CM, but you know what? Japan be Japan. All right, you ready for this next bit? Blue Box is getting a dub. Yeah. Guys, if you didn't check out previous episodes of Anime Church, we actually used to review anime at the end of each episode. We're now doing that independently. Case in point, in just about 45 minutes, our review of episode 3 of The Beginning After the End, or T-Bait, is going to be debuting on the channel. So one of the shows that we...
T-bait, not Tabat.
Yeah, people who
Screw
say
that guy
bothers me.
mispronouncing it.
All right. Anyway, the point being that we used to watch this show and review it here when we were doing the live show, and now we're excited because an official dub has been announced. Oh my God, Zach Aguilar is going to be voicing Taiki. Okay,
Yeah.
so Zach Aguilar, many people may not know him, but primarily I know him as the male traveler from Genshin Impact. Because of how much I used to play that back in the day.
I've seen so many clips of him cosplaying as the male traveler.
It's so
Just
true.
to play the game.
Yeah.
Like, he puts on the cosplay, records it, and then records him sitting down playing the game in full cosplay.
Hey,
It's
man.
just amazing.
Hey, it just shows dedication. Also, if you're dedicated like that, MiHoYo's not going to place you anytime soon. You're not getting
Nope.
replaced. Your job is, as far as I'm concerned, that is a form of job security. But yeah, TMS Entertainment
after that,
announced. Yeah, go for it.
I know him from Trails of Cold Steel.
There you go. TMS Entertainment announced that it has begun streaming the English dub for the anime of Koji Miura's Blue Box on Netflix on Friday. All 25 episodes from the first season are streaming in English as well as in other languages. Guys, if you have not checked out this series is so good. It's so cute. It's so wholesome. It will hit you in the feels from time to time.
Well,
This is
let me do
this is a
something.
romance anime disguised as a sports anime, and also a slice of life at parts. Yeah, go for it.
Remember back in high school when you were just going through puberty and very confused about how to address feelings for people, and then people were yelling at you about it? Well, now you can experience that, what those other people are feeling by yelling at Taiki every episode.
To be fair, when it comes to Taiki, I have never related to a character so quickly in an anime. Never. It's so crazy.
Exactly.
Also, I did cheat a little because I started reading this before the anime was announced, not knowing there was going to be an anime. But I liked it so much while I was reading it, I was like, I'm not stopping. So the entire time, I'm like further than the anime. I could tell you who Taiki ends up with, but it's more fun to figure that out on your own. That being said, I'm excited for this. I'm really happy. All right.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and rewatch episode 1 just to see how they sound.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that later
And
with
to
the
see,
dub
all
for.
the improv and nuances that they
Yeah.
bring to these characters compared to the Japanese.
I'm planning to do that later with the beginning after the end. I want to hear what the dub sounds like. You know, I know it's gonna bother me more because if I'm not looking at subtitles, I'm paying more attention to the animation, and that's gonna bother me more. But at least for the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Welcome back. You missed the Haikyuu ad I had for you, but
Yeah, I overheard it a little bit, but yeah, I was on the phone. Sorry about that.
it's all good. It's all good. All right. So, with that wrapped up, I'm just excited. Blue Box is getting a dub, properly getting a dub. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
And Zach Aguilar is Taiki. That's a good choice as far as I'm concerned. All right. On to the next story. Fenris, you want to cover this one?
The Fuji TV, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I had to fix my tabs real quick. All of them
Oh,
got
no, you're good.
fucked up. So, Anime News Network's Japan-based staff confirmed on Monday that reruns of Assassination Classroom and Call of the Night are also airing on Fuji TV without sponsors. ANN confirmed the commercials that did air during these reruns were predominantly for Fuji TV's in-house productions, including live-action series Hitomi no Jinji, Anata o Ubata, Sono Hikara, Dr. Ashura, Zoku Zoku Saigokara Nibbum no Koi, the feature-length film Black Showman, and broadcasts of Japanese baseball team Yokohama Dina Bay Stars.
Yeah.
Um, Other anime series on Fuji TV are suffering from a decline in corporate sponsors as well, notably Chibi Maruko-chan, which is celebrating its 35th anniversary with special programs between April and May, has been without corporate sponsors for 4 weeks after cram school chain Kobetsu Shudo campus pulled its commercials from the program on March 16th. Some Fuji TV anime programs with corporate sponsors are airing a handful of commercials for those sponsors. However, most commercials across Fuji TV anime are for Fuji TV's own live action series, films, and theater productions. Several other ads for events and other products aired in conjunction with the sponsored ads. As these ads were not sponsoring any anime aired on Fuji TV, they were likely part of the broadcaster's general sponsorship pool. Fuji TV sponsorship deal, or drought, came after the weekly Bunshun magazine reported former SMAP member Masahiro Nakai engaged in non-consensual sexual activities with a woman in June of 2023, resulting in a 90 million yen, about 580,000 US, out-of-court settlement. Weekly Bunshun also reported Fuji TV staff was involved with the incident, although the magazine later said the woman was not initially invited to the gathering by a Fuji TV official, as it had reported in December. In the aftermath, Fuji TV president Koichi Minato and Fuji Media Holdings Incorporated chairman Shuji Kano resigned their positions. As of press time, no announcements have been made regarding future sponsorships or anime programming on Fuji TV.
Okay, now we're getting the answers that I was wondering. It was like, why? Are they? Like, why are there no sponsors? Are they just deciding they don't need commercials? No, this is because somebody messed up, and now they're paying for the consequences. Oh boy. I
Not
feel
just
bad
somebody,
for these.
by the sounds of it, several people.
Yeah, and I feel bad for these anime that are running on this channel because, geez, man, that's some stuff. Yeesh.
Yeah.
All right, like I feel bad for the anime, but I don't feel bad for the Fuji TV company. Yeah.
I just feel bad for the innocent employees that had nothing to do with this.
Yeah,
are probably
no,
gonna
I
lose
agree.
jobs.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our last bit of Star Wars news. Moon, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I can. There it is. Star Wars Visions episode The Ninth Jedi gets limited series in 2026. The Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025 event announced on Sunday that the Star Wars Visions anthology is expanding with Star Wars Visions Presents an opportunity to tell its animated stories in a longer narrative in particular. Kenji Kamiyama will be telling the story from The Ninth Jedi as a limited series next year. He will serve as the series script supervisor and general director for Visions Presents Star Wars Visions Presents The Ninth Jedi. The event also announced that the separate, previously announced Star Wars Visions Volume 3 anthology will debut on Disney Plus on October 29th. It will continue the storylines of 3 shorts from the first volume, The Duel, Village Bride, and The Ninth Jedi. The Duel director Takanobu Mizuno confirmed that the Ronin is returning from the first short for the new short, The Duel Payback. This time, the Ronin faces a Jedi named Grand Master, and he may form an alliance with a Sith. Takashi Okazaki returns to design the characters, including a Wookiee and the insectoid Hook, whatever. Other designs previewed include an AKBK walker design with Japanese building on top of it. Director Hitoshi Haga teased the storyline of The Village Bride continues in The Lost Ones, Samayo Monotachi. Follows the mysterious F after Order 66 that all but eliminated the Jedi. Separate from 2026 limited anime series, The Ninth Jedi, Child of Hope, short teases the story of a war that has been going on since before the first short's character Kara was born. Masaki Tachibana is directing Yuko's Treasure, which centers around the girl Yuko and Billy, her giant bear-like caretaker droid with a microwave oven in his belly, at the familiar Mos Eisley spaceport on the planet Tatooine.
It's a wretched hive of scum and villainy. Be careful.
Uh-huh. In The Smuggler, the Elder, director Masahiko Otsuka tells a standalone story about young female thief loosely inspired by Han Solo on a new planet created for the story. Ken Yamamoto directs The Bounty Hunters at Wit Studio about two such bounty hunters, Seven and the droid
Ivaho.
who are hired by a mysterious handsome business person. Hiroyasu Kobayashi helms The Song of Four Wings at Project Studio Q. It follows a princess with an R2-type droid. The sizzle reel presented at Star Wars Celebration Japan teases that the droid transforms into a mechanized power suit for the princess.
Oh my God, we
Interesting.
just found it. There it is. There it is. I was wondering when they were going to start trying to put Gundam and mechs into Star Wars. There we go.
Tadahira Yoshihira directs Bird of Paradise at Polygon Pictures. The theme of the short explores the Star Wars connection with mythology and features the motif of sacred trees. Yoshihira described some of the concept art as the real-world setting, which led the event's host Sasha Buckle to note that this implies there is also another world isekai setting. Shh, we don't need isekai in Star Wars.
Yes, we do!
Come on.
Yes, we do. Technically, if we're going from planet to planet to planet to planet, we're already in an isekai.
Fair enough.
Star Wars is just a giant isekai. Deal with it.
Shinya Ohira, who could not appear at Star Wars Celebration Japan on Sunday, is writing, directing, designing, and key animating the Black short at David Production. Racist. He spent 3 years on the project.
I don't think you should make that joke, sir. Not after not knowing what
It's literally just called Black.
Uh-huh. And you saw a
Yeah,
picture of the
I
naked
know,
gun.
I fucked up. Shut up. I feel bad enough about it as is. Please don't make me feel worse.
You're good. You're good. But all right. So yes, there is a new season of Star Wars Visions coming out. I have not seen season 2. I haven't had Disney Plus in a minute because shit, streaming services are expensive and not that affordable. And yeah, I had to drop that one for a while, but I just dropped Netflix because they're getting even more expensive. And there's actually a better bundle deal, so you can have Max. Fuck that. That's so stupid. HBO Max and Disney Plus together. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the premium version so I don't have to watch ads. And then we can watch a bunch of the stuff that's over on HBO, which means we'll probably catch up on Lazarus because that's the one that we're really looking forward to. The Cowboy Bebop-esque styled one. I'm looking forward to that. All right. Moving on to anime reviews stuff again. Okay. I titled this, They're Just Straight Up Lying to You because it's kind of true. He goes, I was used to having control. The beginning after the end author admits that the anime gave him little to no creative control. That is not at all what the author has talked about in multiple posts. And this is just what they're
Basically,
referencing.
They're taking a lot of stuff he said out of context.
They're taking a lot of stuff out of context, and they're literally taking one line from an essay. This is from the author of The Beginning After the End, Turtle Me. This was a post he put up on Reddit shortly before they did SakuraCon. Also, I swear to God, Rick, if you went to SakuraCon and met him, I'm going to be so pissed. Because Rick doesn't live far away from where SakuraCon is. Yeah. If we end up doing SakuraCon next year, we're crashing at Rick's place. That's just it. Yeah. Anyway, that being said, they took one line out of this. I wanted to have this here for reference. Guys, once again, I just want to point out that every story that we talk about was... Oh, you were at a wedding. Okay, cool. You're forgiven.
For now.
For now. Yeah, but you didn't invite us to go to SakuraCon and let us crash at your house.
Or the wedding. Come on.
Oh, I don't need to go to a wedding. I don't have. I need to lose weight if I'm gonna wear formal attire, and I'm not ready for formal attire just yet. That being said, no, oh god, the whole point of this is like he's made multiple posts even before the anime debuted that the reason he went with ACAT was they were most in line with where he was, and they let him have a say in certain things. Now, is he going to get his way on everything? No. And what he was saying specifically in the part that they quoted him for was that he's not going to have like a huge amount of control in any anime adaptation, and he's used to having a lot more creative control, and he realized, hey, it's not the same with this medium. I need to just kind of accept that. But they are still working with him and willing to like give more leeway to his viewpoint. The person that wrote this little rant or this fake BS. Also, this is why we don't go to FandomWire. I just happened to see this on my phone when I was Google searching, and I was like, this is absolute crap.
Yeah.
I don't hate the show, but after reading the manga up to date, a lot of necessary world building was cut out, and the pacing is simply trash, and I do hate. Okay. Guys, different mediums are going to do different stuff. Everybody's going to cry about one thing or the other, and that's just how it is. Deal with it. I don't have much to say on this. They just are outright spinning a false narrative at this point. They took one line from here, and yeah. Also, to get into what I forgot to finish up, every article that we talk about in each of these episodes is linked in the description. We like to source everything that we talk about. But yeah, I just wanted to be like, hey, they're lying. Here's my proof. Because here's the whole thing. You could read the whole Turtle Me Reddit post. On to the next. Okay, I'm already happy to see that this is 91% raised. For those of you that don't know, Mike McFarland is a voiceover ADR director, and I don't know if he's working for Crunchyroll, but I know he used to work for Funimation. But Mike McFarland, the English voice of Master Roshi, underwent emergency surgery to remove a brain tumor. The procedure was successful, and Mike's spirits are high as he sets out on the road to recovery. But in the meantime, he'll need a little help. Proceeds will go toward hiring a live-in medical assistant for as long as necessary to help get this legend back on his feet. Mike's been an integral part of this industry for decades, not just breathing life into beloved characters like Master Roshi, Buggy the Clown, and Jean Kirstein, but directing landmark dubs such as the Full Metal Alchemist franchise, Tokyo Ghoul, and Attack on Titan. Oh, you should also know that he was the main proponent behind getting One Piece up and going over at Funimation, now Crunchyroll. So yeah, all the dub side stuff for One Piece, you can thank him for getting it up and going. I mean, you could thank Oda for casting the people that Oda cast, but essentially, yeah. Those who know him best count Mike among the sweetest, funniest, most compassionate humans on the planet, always quick to lend a hand, give sage advice, advocate for the underdog, or share an adventure. He's given a lot of himself over the years, quietly and asking for nothing in return. It's time for us to give some of that back. Please consider donating. Every little bit helps, and by all means, get the word out. Thank you. Sincerely, J. Michael Tatum and Brandon McGillis. Guys, I'm so happy that this is already at 91%. They're at 154,000 out of the 170 goal that they have. It would be much appreciated if you could just donate a little of what you can. I know times are tough, and it looks like things may be getting tougher with everything. But yeah, this is just a sign that people are going to need help from one another moving forward. And if we don't take care of our own, what hope do we have?
Exactly.
Mike is most definitely one of us. He is one of us nerdy anime bros. All right. On to the final sad news. If you guys are not aware at this point, Gargura is officially retiring from Hololive as of, I believe, March 1st? Is it
May
1st or
1st.
4th? Oh, sorry, not March. May 1st.
May-
So the Shark Girl is sadly graduating. Yeah, it is the end of an era. Absolutely. But I mean, here at the office, we've been kind of kicking around the joke that, 2 weeks after her retirement, we're pretty sure V Shoujo's going to announce Senzawa. Also, if you guys don't know about the person behind Gargura or the formerly Senzawa, maybe Senzawa in the future, we don't know. They have influenced pop culture in so many ways. The whole OK Boomer thing, she started it. She is like the poster for Ian VTubers. Right there alongside greats like Iron Mouse and Shy Lily and honestly Fillion. And what's really crazy is most of those people are like, no, we're not on her level. They would say, we're not on her level. And I would politely disagree. However, this is a very influential individual. She is, you know what? I'm just going to say it. I don't care if you agree or disagree. She is solely responsible for the reason that the Dodgers ended up winning the World Series. She is that good of a good luck charm. Now they will never win again. It's the curse of Gura. Curse of Gura.
That's probably why she's retiring. She's like, I've hit my peak.
I put a team through the World Series. It's not higher than that. But yeah, if you don't know, we moved her vocabulary has expanded. She moved from to ash again, which, oh my God, this is so amazing. The animation, the song, all of it. And of course, Casey Edwards is involved. If you're not familiar, he is responsible for giving us a lot of the tracks from the Devil May Cry 5 soundtrack specifically. But yeah. So if nothing else, we're losing one of the greats. I love that we're getting out there, but also 07s in the chat would be very appreciated because we are losing one of the good ones there. Now, hopefully it won't be long before we hear from this individual behind Gargura again in some form or fashion. But if they need to take a big, long break, absolutely understand that. But yes, 100%. This music video and the song are absolutely effing amazing. It's an earworm that has been stuck in my head all flippin' weekend. And I have to say right now that if you're going to go out on a bang. And this was definitely it. Gura will, of course, be missed. I've already put my my thoughts out on the video, and I will shortly be putting a word out to Gura stating that just a big thank you and that their creativity inspires our creativity. And that's all I have to say, because I will start tearing up if I keep going on this. I'm going to give it over to you guys.
You basically covered anything I was going to say.
And I don't have too much to say. I haven't been able to really keep up with her that much.
Oh, man. I keep up with her through clips and stuff like that. And it's not like she streams regularly. She is gone for long periods of time, and then she comes back and she streams a bunch of stuff in a short amount of time and then is like gone again. But, it is what it is. But yeah, this was a hard ass video. Like, the video was amazing. I don't know a lot about the Gura lore. I don't know a lot about Red Gura versus I mean, Blue Gura is the one that we're all used to. I don't know much about Red Gura. I'm assuming this is like past life stuff. So like, before she was Gura, I'm imagining it looks like Red Gura is probably her Atlantean princess time, but I could be wrong. But guys, I guess I could plug one thing while I'm here, and that would be if you want to see. Let me go ahead and get it up here. Yeah, it's on the streamable dashboard. Okay. If you want to see what I did with this song, because this, like I said, this song has been stuck in my head for a minute. So if you want to see what I did with this song over at our Patreon, you can. I made it. Just started off as like an AMV idea, as you can see here, but over on the Patreon, I uploaded the abridged season 2 OP because I was like, damn it. I started thinking of AMV ideas because this is ad break. No. Why is there an ad? Why is there an ad? Tell me when it's over. Tell me when it's over. Also, I love that. You skipped it. Good. I also loved one of the things that I saw down here in regards to the 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 other members of Myth. Someone on Reddit said something about this series, about these scenes. Ame is someone who listens and understands her. Callie is someone who will carry her when everything is too hard. Kiara is someone who will always lift her up when she's down. And Ina is someone who will always give her a big warm hug. As a casual watcher, I don't know what their relationship and interaction looks like, but I think that's a beautiful interpretation, to which somebody responded, you got a Japanese response here. In this scene, the other members are trying to help Gura, even giving up their weapons and their own identities. I was able to interpret that it wasn't just a relationship based on the setting, but also a strong connection as humans. Ina knows to hug the girls a lot, so it's accurate. And then another reply said, you could also say that the version of herself during the I'll listen carefully part is a representation of her fans that are respectful of her decisions. While some people will bring gloom and hate over her choice, her real fans will truly care for her and will support her even if it hurts. So true. So true. I'm tearing up. But yeah, so lastly, I will say that over on the Fat Dog Patreon, there is this AMV idea that has been stuck in my head for days that I finally worked on late into last night, early morning, and I put it up on the production server for at least about 12 hours or so, and now it will be live in about 15 minutes over on the Patreon. So to everyone, thank you guys. I appreciate it. But yeah, thank you guys so much if you do go over and decide to check it out. And remember, our Patreon's not like expensive. You can become a patron for as cheap as $1. That being said, our new T-Bait episode is out right now. You can go and check that out right after this. Thank you to everyone who showed up here tonight for the stream. We will be back over on our Twitch channel if you need to know where that is. Link down in the description once again. And we'll be reading the light novel, or continuing volume 8 of the light novel for the beginning after the... What am I doing? Oh, man. Gura mushed my brain up. Mushoku Tensei. Mushoku Tensei. Volume 8 of Mushoku Tensei. If you're an anime only, don't worry. We still have not passed season 2 of the anime, so you guys are good on that. Any final thoughts on this before we close things out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Alrighty. Well, guys, thank you so much. This is Anime Church. We'll be back to our regular Sunday ways next week. And don't forget, next Sunday is a twofer because we'll be doing Anime Church from 2 to 4. And then after that, at about 6 p.m. Central Time. By the way, my times that I'm giving out are all in Central. Once that is over, we'll be streaming 2 hours later at 6 p.m. Central Time. We will be streaming over on our Twitch channel some more Subnautica roleplay. So you get to hear my high-strung character yelling at Moon's low-strung character. And we'll see who pops in because it's kind of anybody can hop in whenever they want. They just have to... anybody in the Fat Dog production server who has the game can hop in and play with us and roleplay any character they're choosing. The only condition is you just have to make sure that you have repaired your radio before you hop into the call. But after that, yeah. And if you stream on your own channel, that's cool too, because we're all playing it together. The joke is that we're all different survivors on the planet who somehow cannot seem to run into one another. Yeah. We can never meet up. We don't know why. All right. That being said, though...
What do you mean you're not here? You said the giant reef with the shark skull.
That being said, though, guys, we'll see you next time. Take care and bye-bye for now. I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology. Praise Arceus.
And I am Fedor Sarun, your patron saint of snackos and alcohol.
And we will see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
You think it'll work?
It'll take a miracle.
Have fun storming the
Bye-bye.
castle. Bye-bye.